How's it going, Brick Crew? It's your guy, Brick Guy, and if you're anything like me, you opened up the Bravely Default 2 demo last week and wondered, why the hell do I keep dying? Before hot swap. Whoa! What are you doing? Elvis! Elvis! Seth! No! No!
Stop it! No!
No!
No way!
Gloria, on your own. Oh no! They're all gone already. So yes, it's strange why I don't like those kinds of games. Oh, we are getting wrecked here. Ooh. Oh, bye. Oh, that's our healers gone. That's both our healers down. Oh no!
Is this it?
Oh my god! It's this joystick again. It's making me default when I'm just trying to. It's still can't. Oh, Adele's down. Why is it braving 3 times? Oh. And that was despite this polite yet ominous notice at the start of the demo warning us of the increased difficulty. Yep, I still played the game as if I was playing the original Bravely Default and kept trying to tear through enemies by braving, only to be punished in the worst possible way. So I've gone away from the stream and I've thought about super fast ways we can take on a Sandworm, and I think it's fair to say I found a pretty effective method. Now, I'll break down the video by jobs, abilities, equipment and tactics for the fight, so you can be sure I've left no stone unturned. Now, quick warning, this method does require some grinding, but as long as you're able to defeat the pests or snakes or worms, as I like to call them, as well as the vesps or wasps, as I also like to call those, either in the overworld or the dungeons, I like to recommend Weaponless Fist of Fury monks, just because they do really high damage output, and as well as speeding up the battles, then this shouldn't take you very long. And you can also sell the items they drop, such as insect wings and venom drops, so you can get a boost to the amount of money you can earn as well. Oh, and if this video does help you out, then feel free to leave a like, and if you have any alternative methods of taking down the Sandworm, then feel free to let me know in the comments. And I'm also going to be sharing a video later on this week about how we can take down the optional final boss in the game, or at least in the demo, but I still need to figure that out myself, so give me a bit of time. Right then, that's the disclaimers out the way, let's get right to it. So, first up, we have jobs. Now, the first thing you need to remember, and really this is the main thing that you need to remember, is which classes and jobs each character has really doesn't matter. Everyone has the same base stats, and I'm going to demonstrate that here. Everyone has the same base stats and access to the same classes, the same passive abilities, and all can use the same equipment as well. So you won't be able to see experience or job experience with the layout I've got here, but that's fine, that's not what you need to see. All you need to pay attention to is the fact that I've got everyone at level 20, everyone's freelancer job level 7, no one has any equipment, and you can see that everyone has the same max HP, max MP, weight, physical attack, all the stats, they're all exactly the same. So don't worry about who does what and who is equipped to what, it literally does not matter in the demo. Whether that changes for the game, probably will, but we'll see. The only thing you really need to bear in mind is that Seth here is the only one that can use a special ability for each job, so that really is the main thing. He's going to be a specific class for this method when it comes down to taking down the Sandworm. So with all that said, what should the jobs actually be? Now, before I go into the jobs specifically, what I want to do is just break down the 3 things we need to manage during the fight. First, we need the strongest damage output possible. So if you've played the demo for any period of time, you'll know straight away that the black mages are really the nukes of the game. So therefore we want as many people being black mages as possible. And also the black mage's special ability boosts the magic damage output for every member of the party. So if we make this Seth's main job, he'll be able to activate that ability. The next thing we need to do is control the damage output for the Sandworm itself. Now, all its attacks are physically based, so direct sunlight, which is an ability of the freelancer job, as you can see here, it's number 2, level 2 here. That will decrease the Sandworm's accuracy and make it less likely to hit us, which is very useful. And as well as that, the Freelancer in general has a lot of utility and support available to it. And finally, we want someone that's able to support the party and tank single target attacks. The Vanguard is really crucial for this, as it has high defenses and it has the ability to be more targetable than other classes, which is a new stat that's been introduced for Bravely Default 2 as opposed to the original Bravely Default, and its Provoke skill also comes in very useful. So with all that said, how do I set up my team? Well, the first thing I want to do is make sure everyone has the Freelancer sub-job, so they all have access to the same utility moves like Direct Sunlight and even BP Booster if we need it. This means I need 1 Vanguard and 3 Black Mages, and with Seth required to be a Black Mage, we can go right ahead and set that as his main job now with the Freelancer sub-job. So with Seth as the Black Mage, I really have my choices between Gloria, Adelle and Elvis as my other Black Mages and my Vanguard. Now, as I said before, it really makes no difference who does what, but for me, at least canonically, it makes more sense that Gloria and Elvis are the Black Mages and Adelle is the Vanguard, so that's how I'm going to set them up right now. So as you can see, that's all the jobs sorted now. I have Seth as the Black Mage with Freelancer sub-job, same as Gloria and Elvis, and we have Adelle as the Vanguard and Freelancer. Now it's time for the equipment. And really, the Black Mages will all be doing the same thing again, and the Vanguard will be the only thing that's different. So really, this is also quite straightforward. Again, we're prioritizing damage output on the Black Mages. So each Black Mage, we want to have a Rod of Ice. Now, the reason we want this is because the Sandworm is weak to water-based attacks, and the Rod of Ice also boosts our water damage output on the Black Mages. So I've got 6 Rods of Ice here, and this is where it gets a bit grindy because you need to save up enough PEG, or PG as some people call it, in order to afford at least 5 Rods of Ice. You can get 1 legitimately through just adventuring, but the rest you might have to buy, and buying them will cost around 35,000 PEG, so you will be grinding a little while to be able to get that. And then in terms of headwear, I find that the Tactician's Hat is the best form of headwear for most characters. Not only is it defensively well-rounded and a really good option compared to the other options available, but it also boosts magical attack by 5. We'll be giving everyone the Tactician's Hat. And then for armor, I find the Calasiris is also very good. It's very well rounded again in terms of its defensive stats, but again it also boosts magical attack by 5 as well, so this makes it an obvious choice for Black Mages. And then finally for accessories, what I like to do is first give them the white cape. Now, I don't think the Sandworm has any abilities that will inflict silence on characters, but just for my own peace of mind, with them being mages, really having silence immunity is crucial for their, I guess, future damage output and their usefulness in the battle. And then I also like to give them star pendants just because poison immunity is always nice. So this setup here is exactly what you want for every Black Mage, 2 Rods of Ice for maximum damage. And then if we move on to the Vanguard, this is slightly different. It kind of doesn't matter what you're giving the Vanguard because really they're not going to be really attacking or doing anything useful. The main thing we want from them is to be able to increase their chance of being targeted. You can see here I've only got Tomahawks and Earthbreaker, but the Earthbreaker does increase that chance of being targeted to 66. And then if you equip a shield in the left hand, Valkyrie Shield in particular is very good, increases that chance of being targeted. Tactician's Hat again, just much better option than the Mystic Hood and the other options that are out there. And again, Calasiris for the Vanguard. And then for the Vanguard here, it really doesn't matter what you use. I think what I'll do though is I'll use the silver glasses just in case we need some kind of physical output from Adelle in any possible way, as well as the poison immunity. So that's how the Vanguard should look as well. I'm going to set up the other 2 and then I'll be back with the next part, which is abilities. Okay, great. We've got everyone with the right equipment now, so we're ready to move on to abilities, which, thanks to the new menuing system in Bravely Default 2, we can go straight onto. So for this one, it's again quite straightforward. there's not too much that's really going to affect the outcome of the battle. Just generally my personal preference is to have on the black mages revenge, so if they take hits there is a percentage chance, a 25% chance of earning 1 BP whenever damage is received, and uncanny economy just to have that nice MP reduction saving. And then for Adelle, the Vanguard, again revenge, really nice whenever she takes damage, and BP by default, just in case we get it to default, though it's very unlikely we will. So yeah, that's abilities, very straightforward for everyone. So now we have everyone set up with the right classes, the right stats, the right abilities, and the right equipment. So now what does the battle actually look like? Well, I'll get to that now. So here we are ready to take on the Sandworm. Now before we get into the fight, I just want to share my internal thinking for how this fight should go. If Seth is the first person to go, then I will use his special ability for the Black Mage and get that magic damage output out there right away. If someone else goes first, any member of the team, then I'll use Blinding Sunlight first to attempt to blind the Sandworm to reduce its damage output against us and reduce its chance of hitting us. If Adelle goes second after either Gloria or Elvis, after they've used Direct Sunlight, then I'll simply use Adelle to provoke the Sandworm, and then ideally we'll get Seth ready to activate his special ability, and then the other mages can do their magic damage as well. So let's get right into it. There we are. So let's see who we have going first. It is going to be, well, that's unexpected, the Sandworm goes first. But either way, Seth goes first for us this time, so we can activate the special ability, Iceberg Slam. Very nice. So usually it does around 9,000 damage, if I'm not mistaken. It might do a bit less actually, I can't remember. Yeah, there you go, 9,943, so basically max damage. So that turns on the music, everyone has the magic attack buff for the next however long the duration of the song is. Here we can just go straight into our black magic and Blizzara the Sandworm. And this really only takes a few rounds of Blizzara, it's literally each character can do it 4 times and the Sandworm goes down. So it's really quite straightforward. The setup takes a lot more time than the actual effort to actually take on the Sandworm itself. So it is blinded, and now Seth can finish things off with some more Blizzara. And you can see there straight away, like it's only got 11,000 damage health left after that. There we go, nice and easy. Sandworm complete. So there you have it, the Sandworm is no more, and we can go back to Savallon to claim our crest reward. And I'm not going to spoil what it is here, but it's okay, it's a new weapon. It's only useful to me if they actually let you carry it through into the main game. But hopefully you found these tips really helpful, and like I said before, if you did, then feel free to like the video. If you have any alternative methods of defeating a Sandworm, then I'd love to know them and find out what they are. So let me know what you have in the comments below, and stay tuned later this week. Again, if you subscribe, you'll be updated with the latest video for when I take on the optional final boss in the demo. But anyway, that's all from me. Take care, and I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.